Hello children, welcome to Nagesh Karajagi Orchid School channel. Myself Priya teacher, and today I am going to teach you science subject for 6th class. Okay, so children, we are going to start our new lesson, which is lesson number 13, fun with magnets. Okay, so this is a very interesting lesson, so you will come to know that how interesting it is. Okay, so let us start. Fun with magnets. So first we will learn that what is mean by magnet. So it is given here that what is magnetism. Okay, so first it is a first concept from this lesson, it is a magnetism. So in this lesson we are going to learn about magnetism, then what is mean by magnet, then which substances are magnetic and which are non-magnetic. Then also we are going to learn about properties of magnet and then where magnet is used. So all these concepts we are going to learn in this lesson, which is fun with magnet. So let us know about first point of this lesson, magnetism. So the property of a magnet to attract things made up of iron, cobalt and nickel is known as magnetism. So magnetism is nothing but a property. Okay, so this is a property which is of a magnet. Okay, so this property is of magnet. And what its property? So it is to property of a magnet to attract. So attract things made up of iron, cobalt and nickel. So can you tell me what it means? These substances are known as a scientific name, iron, cobalt and nickel. Yes, correct. So these are some types of metal substances or metallic substances. Okay, so these concept metal you learn in your previous class. So these types of substances are attracted by magnet, and this process or this property of magnet is known as a magnetism. Now next, it is magnets. So what is meant by magnets? A magnet is a material or object that produces a magnetic field. So magnet is a substance which is going to produce its field. So where we live, so in our area or at our home, so only we can do our activities at our home only. Okay, or whatever home area is there, so area which is there of our house, there only we can do activities or we can play there or we can do everything there. Okay, whatever we want to do, so that we can say that is our field. Okay, and such suppose you are going to play with your friends, then also in garden or anywhere on ground, so that field is also known as for a sports field or sports ground. So like this, magnet is also having its field. So what is its field? So a magnet is a material or an object that produces. So magnet can produce its magnetic field. So why it is called as a magnetic field? Because whatever magnet is there, here you can see a picture of a magnet. So whatever magnet is there, so around this magnet at some distance, this magnet, so whatever substances will come in contact with this magnet, though these substances are not touching to this magnet, then also this magnet can attract these substances. Okay, so there is a particular distance, and in between this distance whatever substances will come, or in between this area whatever particular area is there, so which substances are going to come here? These substances are going to attract towards this magnet, and that area or that distance, it is called as a magnetic field. So this magnetic field is invisible. Okay, so this magnetic field is invisible, but it is responsible for the most notable property of a magnet. A force that pulls on other ferromagnetic materials such as iron and attracts or repels other magnets. what it is given here. So this magnetic field, whatever magnetic field is here, that magnetic field is invisible. Okay, so we can't see that field as we can see ground, or as we can see whatever porch is there at our home, so that we can see. But here whatever magnetic field is there, that we can't see. That is why it is called as a, that magnetic field is invisible. Then, but it is responsible for the most notable property of a magnet. So there is a one more property of this magnet which is responsible for, so what it is, a force that pulls on other ferromagnetic materials. So whatever property of this magnet, that property is going to pull on other ferromagnetic materials. So though these magnetic substances are there, these are going to pull towards this, or pulled by this magnet, and such as iron, and attracts or repels other magnets. Okay, so and these iron substances or ferromagnetic materials can attract and repels other magnets. So these substances which are going to attract towards the magnet, these are going to attract, but sometimes what happens, so these substances are going to repel also. So what it means, repel, so these are going to move exactly opposite to the magnet. Okay, so these substances, how these substances attract, it means these substances are going to pull towards the magnet, but repel, it means these substances are going to move exactly opposite to the magnetic side. Okay, or exactly opposite side of the magnet, so that is called as a repel. Okay, so this is a one more property. Now next, discovery. So there is a very interesting story of discovery of this magnet. So what it is, so let us know about this story. So it is said that there was a shepherd named Magnus who lived in ancient Greece. Okay, so this is the story of about discovery of magnet. So how magnet is discovered, so that is given in this story. So what happens here, so there was a shepherd. So do you know what is meant by shepherd? Yes, correct. So shepherd is a man or any person who is taking care of this, of sheep. Okay, so in large number, so that is called as a shepherd. So we know that rearing of silkworm, rearing of that sheep or goats, like this we learned in our previous lessons. So there was a shepherd whose name was Magnus, and where he was living, so he was living in an ancient Greece. Okay, so ancient, it means so many years ago. So the shepherd was living there. Then he used to take his herd of sheep and goats to the nearby mountains for the grazing. So whatever animals was there with him, so these animals was herd of sheep and goats. Okay, so sheep and goats are there. So these were used to go to the nearby mountains. So he was taking them, whatever sheep and goats were there with him, so he was taking them to the nearby mountain. Okay, for what reason? For grazing. So for give them food. Okay, like this we can say. So he would take a stick with him to control his herd. So whatever goats and sheep were there, so to control them, for this reason he was keeping a stick with him. Okay, so here in this picture you can see he is a Magnus, and in his hand there is a large stick, you can see here. So he was keeping that stick with him, so to control his hurt. The stick had a small piece of iron attached to at one end. So here it is at the one end, only wooden part is there. Okay, so we know that stick is always made up of wooden. Okay, by wood we are going to make this stick. So he was also using a wooden stick, but at one end, that end is of only wooden, and here at another end what was there? So the stick had a small piece of iron. So at the other hand, here here you can see this is a iron, piece of iron. So here you can see here, this is a iron piece which is there attached to that stick. So the stick had a small piece of iron attached at one end. Then one day he was surprised to find that he had to pull hard to free his stick from a rock on the mountain side. So when he was going on mountain, so only one mountain he was not using for the grazing. So whatever village was there, so whatever mountains are there, okay, near to that village, so he was going to all these mountains. So he was changing these mountains, because every day on one mountain the sheep and goats will not find food, okay, every day. So that is why he was taking them to other mountains also. So like this, when he went on a mountain, such a mountain, so he was using that stick to climb on mountain also. Okay, so when he was using that stick to climb on mountain, he was keeping that iron part of or iron piece or end with iron piece on mountain side. Okay, so why like this? Because if we will keep that wooden part or wooden end on the mountain, so we know because of the stones and whatever time we are going to keep that wooden part on the stones and we are going to climb on mountain, so that wooden stick will be broke. Okay, so it will be break down. So that is why he was keeping that iron end or end with iron piece on the mountain side, and he was using like this. So when one day he was surprised, so how he surprised? So he surprised to find that he had to pull hard to free his stick from the rock on the mountain side. So when he was climbing on the mountain or he was walking on mountain, so he was keeping his iron end on the mountain side, and he came to know that whenever he was going to pick up his stick, that time he experienced that it was hard to pull that stick from the mountain side. Okay, so it seemed as if the stick was being attracted by the rock, and also when he was going to pull stick upside from the mountain side, so he was feel hard to pull it, and also he experienced that whenever he is going to pull it from opposite to the mountain side or from the rock, so again that stick is going to attracted towards the rock. So like this he experienced. So he was surprised, and how it is possible or why it is happened there. So he was very surprised. So what happened there? So the rock was a natural magnet. Okay, so why it was happening? Because whatever mountain is there, that mountain was made up of a magnet, or it was a natural magnet. So because of that natural magnet, whenever this man or this magnate was going to keep his stick on the mountain rock, it was attracted by the mountain rock, and also whenever he was going to pull that stick from the rock, it was hard to pull it from the rock. Okay, so this was happening because that mountain, it was made up of some So not whole mountain, but on this mountain some rocks was a natural magnet, and it attracted the iron tip of the shepherd's stick. It is said that this is how natural magnets was discovered, and this magnets came to know that this rock is not a rock like other, okay, so it is something different, okay, this rock is something different, and this rock is having some different characteristics. So that is why he told everyone, and like this magnet was discovered first as a natural magnet, and this is the story of, or this is the story of discovery of magnets. So isn't it interesting, children? Yes, very interesting. Now we will move to next point, magnetite or ladstone. So whatever natural magnet was there, that natural magnet was named by the scientists. So what name they given to the magnet, natural magnet? So this is a magnetite. So whatever rock was there on that mountain who was showing characteristics or properties like a magnet, that rock is named as a magnetite, or it is also known as a ladstone. So in Magnesia, rocks contained large numbers of black stones which had the power to attract pieces of iron. So this region Magnesia, so this Magnesia rocks contain large number of black stones which had the power to attract pieces of iron. So this is a natural magnet, and the black stone came to be known as ladstone or the leading stone. So this black stone is also known as a ladstone and or the leading stone because of the way it could be used to find directions. Okay, so today it is known as the mineral magnetite. Okay, so this natural magnet or this black stone or whatever name is given here, ladstone or the leading stone, nowadays it is known as the mineral magnetite, and the formula of this mineral magnetite is Fe3O4 in bracket it is given, and is found in many countries. And also this magnet, it is not only found in Magnesia, but it is also found in other countries also, okay, in other countries also. So let us know about what is magnetic field. So in previous slide I told you that the area surrounding the magnet in which magnetic force is exerted. So we know that now this natural magnet or whatever magnet is there, it is going to attract whatever metallic substances is going to come there in his area, so it is going to attract, and sometimes it happens it is going to repel also. So this area surrounding the magnet in which magnetite force is exerted to attract iron is known as magnetic field. Now the magnetic lines of force originate from the north pole of a magnet and end at the south pole. So not only particular area is there surrounding this magnet, but also the magnetic lines of force originate. So there are some magnetic lines which are originating from the north pole of a magnet and end at the south pole of a magnet. So what it is given, see in our next slide we will come to know magnetic field. So these blue lines are showing magnetic field. So this is a magnet, this is nothing but a magnet. So when it is we are going to search this magnet, it is available in a natural rock, but we can cut this magnet and we can give a particular shape to this magnet. So here you can see this is a magnetic magnet is given here, which is a rectangular in a shape. So in this type you can find magnet, or you can see magnet in our laboratory. So this magnet is given here, and also this magnet is having a north pole and south pole. So N is showing a north pole and S is showing a south pole. So whenever there is a magnet, that magnet is always having a north and south pole. So not any magnet is having both north pole at the both side of magnet, or only south pole at the both side of magnet. So there is always north pole and south pole you can see in a magnet. So when this magnet is, we are going to keep anywhere, so you can see the magnetic field. So not seen, it is invisible. We know that magnetic field is invisible, but you can experience that whatever substances you are going to keep here around this or surrounding to the magnet, these are going to attract towards this magnet. So that is why it is called as a magnetic field. So here you can read, blue lines represent only a few of the many magnetic lines of force in the magnetic field. So these blue lines are nothing but these are these are representing the magnetic field around this magnet. Okay, so hope you understood what exactly mean magnetic field and what is the north pole and south pole. Now next, magnetic and non-magnetic substances. So there are some substances which are classified into two groups. So which two groups? Magnetic and non-magnetic substances. So why these are named as a magnetic and non-magnetic substances? Because these substances are those substances which are going to attract towards the magnet, these are called as a magnetic, and those substances which are not going to attract towards the magnet, it means they are going to repel other magnets and can attract many magnetic material even if it is not magnetized. So sorry, I read this. So I have to tell you only that those substances which are not going to attract towards the magnet, these are called as a non-magnetic substances. So let us read this. First point, materials which get attracted towards magnets are called magnetic materials. So substances which are classified into magnetic and non-magnetic substances, they are having a particular property or particular characteristics. That is why these are classified. So what it is? Materials which get attracted towards magnets are called as a magnetic materials. So for example, copper, iron and nickel. So here in this first picture you can see the magnetic substances are given here. So this is iron substance and this is a copper ring. Then magnets can attract or repel other magnets and can attract any magnetic material even if it is not magnetized. So another property of this magnet, it is magnets can attract. These magnets can attract also and can repel other magnets also and can attract any magnetic material, and these magnets can attract any magnetic material even if it is not magnetized. So any magnetic material which is not magnetized, it is also attracted by the magnets, and there are magnets which can attract other magnet also and they can repel other magnet also. So this is a property of magnet. So about this we will learn in our next slide. Now we will read what is mean by non-magnetic materials. So in non-magnetic materials such as wood, paper, plastic and most metals don't get attracted towards the magnets. So these non-magnetic materials such as wood, paper, plastic and most metals, so this is a wrong word here, most metals, okay. So some other substances which are not metals, they are going to not attract towards the magnet, so these substances are called as a non-magnetic material. So here you can see this is a box of card sheet paper, and these are some plastic pens. You can see bunch of a pen. So these are made up of plastic. Okay. So there are some types of metals which are not attracted by the magnet. So here that word is wrong. So don't misunderstand. So these are non-magnetic substances. Now next, magnetic substances are given again. So the natural magnet attracts certain materials. Which natural magnets, which substances are attracted by the natural magnets? It is a cobalt, nickel, iron, steel, alloys of any of the above. These materials are called as the magnetic materials. Now next, text for the magnetism compass. So how we can test that which substance is magnetic and which is not? So we can use a compass to find out whether a substance is magnetic or not. So one end of the compass needle normally points to north. If a magnetic substance come close to needle, it will make the needle turn. So this is a compass here given here. So this compass can help you to find out whether a substance is magnetic or it is not. So what we have to do? So we can do this activity. What activity we have to do? See here. One end of the compass needle normally points to north. So here in this compass there is a needle. Okay, and this needle normally points to the north. So when we are going to keep this compass here and this make that needle get stable, and after that it will show that point of this needle, it is always or normally it points to the north. And if a magnetic substance comes close to the needle, and suppose any magnetic substance we keep here or bring to closer to this needle, so it will make the needle turn. So whatever that needle is at the north side, pointed towards the north pole or north side, it is going to turn. So that needle is going to turn here. When it will turn? When we are going to bring any magnetic substance toward or close to this needle, that time this needle is going to turn. So from north point it will turn to another point. Okay, so that like this, or by this activity we will come to know that which substance is magnetic and which is not. Now test for magnetism again. So repulsion. So first it is given, take a metal and a known magnet. So we have to take a metal and then a magnet. So bring one pole of a magnet near the ends of the metal bar one by one. Okay. So if both ends of the magnet get attracted towards the metal bar is not a magnet. And if one end attracts and the other repels, the metal bar is a magnet. So see, activity is given here by which we can know the test for the magnetism. First it is given repulsion and attraction also. So take a metal and a known magnet. So we have to take a metal and known magnet. So bring one pole. So from this north and south pole we have to bring one pole of a magnet near the ends of the metal bar one by one. So first we have to take a north pole and then then next we have to take a south pole. Then if both ends of a magnet get attracted towards the metal bar, suppose both ends, north pole and south pole. So if suppose these both ends are going to attract towards the metal bar, the bar is not a magnet. Okay, so how we can come to know that whatever magnetic substances are there, these magnetic substances are magnet or not a magnet. So we can do this activity. We have to take a magnet and a metallic substance, and then poles of these magnets, both poles of magnets we have to bring near to the magnetic substance, and suppose both ends will attract that magnetic substance, that it means that metallic bar is not a magnet. And if one attracts and the other repels, suppose north pole will attract towards the magnetic bar and south pole will not attract towards the magnetic bar, then it is not a magnet. Okay, so repels, the metal bar is a magnet. Okay, so this is the activity to know or to find out that any magnetic bar or any bar which is given as a magnet, it is actually a magnet or it is not. So for this purpose we can do this activity. Whenever both poles are going to attract towards that metallic bar, it is not a magnet. And when any one end or any one pole, if suppose north or south, is going to attract or it is going to repel, so that metallic bar is a magnet. Okay, so like this we can find out is it magnetism or not. So children, we discussed so many points and a very interesting story also I told you about this discovery of magnet. So hope you understood all these concepts whatever we discussed in this lesson. So whatever remaining part we will learn in our next session. So for now we will stop here. Okay, thank you.